Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Once again, continuing on in a westward direction to the Far Lands, without any cheats or mods or teleportation or any other fancy who's-a-megawatts that anybody else who has visited the Far Lands has used. So we get out the compass. I want to be going that way. And I got Wolfie, and we're continuing on. And of course, we're doing this all as a walkathon for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com. Just today, we reached 5% of our goal. So thank you to everybody who contributed to help us reach 5%. We're at $1,506.44. So that's amazing. Once again, thank you very much. Oh, Creeper. He's coming to celebrate. Ah, watch it. No. Oh my God. There was another one. Oh my God, my health. Oh, shnikes. Okay. Hide in the tree. Hide in the tree. Double Creeper. Oh my gosh. So amazing. Sit, Wolfie. Sit. Good dog. Whew. Whew. I can't believe I just survived that. I need to eat. So much bread. Oh, kind of freaking out. Whew. 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 I don't think Wolfie caught any of that. He's like got the same amount of health. Wow. Whew. Double creeper attack. It's so intense. Whew. I need to take a break. The creeper army is in full force apparently. That was strategery right there. They blew apart that tree. I guess I should feed Wolfie just in case. I don't think he took any damage. That's ironic, because I just uploaded the Far Lands or Bust flashback of me getting blown up right out of my spawn from a creeper, and I said, "Sweet baby Jesus." That was beyond a sweet baby Jesus moment right there. I didn't even see that second one. Did you guys? Oh man. Okay, let me. Whew. Whew. Let's regroup here. My armor took most of the damage. Oh, great googly moogly. The music is very apt and fitting right now. Interesting. Whew. Okay, I think I'm ready to continue. I should think about recrafting some more armor and watching out. See, this is why myself and Brian, Lorgun 111, we both don't really like these dense forests because they hide the creepers very well. And that's why Brian would always burn down the forests. I apparently just need to start avoiding them altogether. Oh man. That was a bit intense. Oof. Oof. Hold on a second. I'm actually going to find kind of a safe spot here, and I'm going to have a rare moment where I pause and kind of edit out a little bit here. I'm just going to pause it, but I'm going to check. I don't know that my audio software is recording the game audio, which is concerning, but I need to find that out really quick. Which I was going to talk about more of the audio problems in the future, but then I got blown up by two creepers. So hold on, let me sit, Wolfie, and I'll be right back with you in a split second. Bah! Alright, I'm back. There was a sheep welcoming us back, but yeah, I was just checking. The audio didn't seem quite right, but I was going to talk about that until I was rudely interrupted by a double creeper attack. That was a first for Far Lands or Bust, and also I think some of the lowest I've gotten in health for Far Lands or Bust since the beginning, when I really wasn't doing it as Far Lands or Bust. But let me do this. Oop. Do that. I had to open up my notes again. I've all discombobulated. Oh boy, that'll be a future Far Lands or Bust flashback. But yeah, and I'm leaning to the left. Everybody keeps saying I'm leaning to the left, and that's true. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm just avoiding this mountain. But yeah, continuing on, I was saying thank you to everybody who keeps contributing at farlandsorbust.com to Child's Play charity. I was talking about the audio. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but I first wanted to first, just as an aside, I wanted to give a thanks to Etho from Etho's Lab. For those of you I'm sure who know of him, he was able to help me out just on the side with a few YouTube problems I was having, but thanks to Etho for that. And one of those things I always talk about is One of the benefits of doing these Let's Plays is getting to meet some awesome people like that, Etho and Brian, obviously, and all the other people I've gotten involved with. So that's really cool. But anyway, continuing on, I also wanted to thank a few people who gave more donations to the Farlands or Bust channel. I wanted to thank, oh, I'm going to mess up this name, Vitalis, I don't know, you, yes. I'd also like to thank the Dead Clan. Somebody donated as the Dead Clan, so whoever Dead Clan is, thank you. Alex, James, Allie, and Will for their personal donations, helping to improve the channel, which almost ended abruptly there with the creeper explosion, but yeah, continuing on. Speaking of the audio, and I know I've been talking about the audio a lot, and for those of you who are sick of it, feel free to fast forward to the second half of this video or whatever, but it's kind of I'm a little bit OCD about the video quality here, and I think that's something that makes a difference when doing a Let's Play. It can certainly differentiate between a poorly made Let's Play, with bad audio or bad recording, versus a well-made one. So it's a justified obsession that I have. But as you know, in the last episode, I was recording with this Blue Yeti, which is a standalone USB condenser mic. It's a very nice mic, and it's a whole separate thing, and well, I guess I still don't like these trees here. Let me get out in the clearing. I'm going to make some more armor. Whew. What was I saying? The Blue Yeti, it's a very nice mic, and I got it in hopes of resolving some problems I was having, both with quality and my ability to do cooperative commentaries. But in the end here, I don't know that it has really solved that problem, and I think... Oop, I might actually need some dirt. I think I'm going to end up returning it to Amazon, basically because it solves some of the problems, but creates some new ones. What was I doing? I need to make more armor. I'll just make a whole new set. Boop, boop, boop. And some pants. Boop. Okay. My boots. I guess I really didn't need... Oh, can't do that. Get rid of that. Do that. And that. I guess I'm... Well, I guess I'll just carry these around then. What else was I going to do? Make a couple boats. But yeah, the Blue Yeti, while it's great, the audio quality is great, it's this big honking thing that sits on my desk, and I was thinking, just in terms of, I'd like to do the driving games with my steering wheel. I wouldn't be able to do that because there's a big microphone in the way, and vice versa. Of course, being able to fix that, I could get a kind of a telescoping kind of microphone mount, a boom, if you will. Of course, then those things are another additional $100 or so I was looking at. Then you need I would need a shock mount for the mic, and then it'd be good to get a pop filter for the mic, because it is a very sensitive mic. As you heard, you could hear my keyboard sounds very loudly in the background. So it starts to be where I would end up spending all this money when it turns out, and I've discovered this over the past couple weeks, that the majority of my audio problems stem from the fact that I'm using Windows XP here, as opposed to Windows 7, which apparently Windows 7 gives you much finer control over audio inputs and multiple mixes of different inputs, whether it be the game input, Skype input, the mic input, and the problem I'm having is that I'm either mixing all of them or only hearing my microphone. Ooh, what's this? I like this coming up. So that really wasn't completely resolved with the USB microphone, so that's why I'm going to end up returning it. And instead, and don't think, oh well, I know a lot of people donated personally to the YouTube channel in hopes of getting a new microphone or improving the audio and stuff like that. I'm still very much concentrated on that, but I think instead of focusing on fixing my problems with my current setup with Windows XP, I'm going to focus on, ahead of schedule, working on building a new computer, which then would have Windows 7 and much better sound setup and things like that. So I think that's the way I'm going to go with this. I still need to make a bed. Lord knows I don't need any more problems with hostile mobs. So let's let's do that. I need to plunk down the workbench on the side here. Lag. Ooh. Do that, and I need to pick up some more wood. Where's my wool? There it is. And let me get some rest, because I'm going to need that after the way this day started. And awakeness, and lagginess, and hopefully creeper freeness. Thunk. Ow, way to go, Kurt. Yeah, continuing on. But yeah, that's kind of the status of the audio thing, so that's why I'm back on my headset right now. I don't know if you'll notice kind of a different audio. I mean, this headset that I have, this Razer KurtJMac, whatever the hell it's called, it's very good, and a lot of people have been asking me what it is. It's got good quality, but it is an analog. It's not USB, so it plugs in with two plugs, one to the headset, or to the headphone output, and then one to the microphone input. So that's partially where my problems are coming from, and I guess I can explain in a little bit better detail. I know I really haven't been explaining it that well. I've only just yesterday discovered exactly what the problem is, but I'm using Windows XP, obviously, here. I have this PC I built. It has a built-in sound card, which is fine. It's a Realtek HD or whatever thing, and it works fine. I have controls between record and the input and output. I record my audio in Cool Edit Pro separately from Fraps, and then I sync it up later, which is great. The problem I run into is that when I'm doing co-op videos, which is something I'm, as I mentioned in my year in review, I want to do more of. When I'm doing co-op videos through Skype or even Mumble, I've tried, or TeamSpeak, my game sounds are transmitted through those applications, and the people I'm playing with can hear all my game sounds in addition to my voice. And then sometimes that leads to them hearing an echo of their own voice because it's going through my system and then going back to them. And that is because I can't separate my microphone as a separate channel on these programs, which leads to these problems, etc. So there is a way I can do that, actually, which that's just not entirely true. Right now I'm plugged in to the headphone or the microphone jack in the back of my computer. If I plug into the microphone jack into the front input, for whatever reason, that allows me to separate that as a separate input, the front input mic. And that's actually how I recorded, for those of you who watched the 4v4 Race for Wool that we did versus Mine Inc. That's how I did that. The problem there is I have a very huge problem with static, as you probably heard in those videos, and I actually reduced it quite a bit in those videos with audio processing. And that problem stems from the fact that the cable running from the front input to the sound card in the back goes directly near the graphics card, my graphics card. And I was messing around all day yesterday with this, and I had the case open, and I was rerouting cables and futzing with cables, and I found that cable, and I could tell when I moved the cable closer to the graphics card, the annoying static got louder, and then when I moved it away, it got a little bit quieter. But there's no other way I can route that cable. That's how long the cable is, and that's where the cable has to go, is right over the, it's not touching it, but it's right over the graphics card. So there's nothing I could do about that, unfortunately, and I was trying all different ways to maybe fool the program into believing I had a microphone plugged in the front and then actually having it in the back, but that wasn't working, and it's a big mess. And like I said, doing all these upgrades or futzing around with it, when the stem of the problem is that Windows XP doesn't allow you, at the root of it, to separate these channels, whereas Windows 7 does. And that's why you're hearing about me having these problems, but no other commentator seems to have these problems, because they're all running Windows 7 or Windows Vista and things like that. And also, since I'm in a thanking other LPers mood, I was on Skype with Nia of Two Girls One Minecraft yesterday, and she was kind of trying to help me figure it out, and she said I was using the USB mic, the Yeti, and she said, yeah, that sounds a lot better, and yeah, I can separate that in Skype, but then I couldn't record the sounds of the game concurrently, and the mic was in my face, and you could hear my keyboard really loud, she was saying. So it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So So I'm going to end up returning the Yeti mic. It's a great microphone. I'd recommend it if you're going to do like podcasting where you're not going to be typing at the same time. If you're looking to record like yourself playing music or, you know, a guitar or singing or something like that. It's a great microphone, and it's certainly worth the cost, but I can't justify it right now, and I think I would rather put that money towards building my new computer much earlier than I would have otherwise. And thus we will have all our problems fixed, and we'll hopefully fix a lot of this lag that I'm having, and I'll be able to play newer games, and I'll be doing more co-ops, and rendering and processing of videos will go much quicker, and you'll get more videos on my channel, so it's a win-win for everybody, I think, including those damn creepers. But yeah, that's where that stands. So sorry, this is the last I'll be talking about it because I've made up my mind this is what I'm doing, so I'll look forward to building a new computer instead a lot earlier than thought of. But yeah. I suppose, what time is it? I have a time for 1 or 2 user questions. Actually, in the last video, I got a lot of good questions, so thank you everybody who asked questions in the video comments. Come on, Wolfie. Where's he at? There he is. So yeah, thanks to everybody who keeps asking questions and keep doing that, even in these video comments, and I will hopefully get around to answering as many of them as I can. But somebody asked if I was into any tabletop RPGs. And if so, what games? And if not, what? And if not, would you like to, and what games? The short answer, no. I've never been into those, and I'm assuming you're referring to like those Dungeon and Dragon type RPG games, you know, with the dice and things. I've only actually, in high school, I sort of kind of half played one, and I'm not even sure what it was. It was a situation where I was hanging out with a friend, and we ended up at a friend of a friend's house. I didn't even know whose house it was. You know, very shady. But yeah, and they ended up, that person's older brother or something brought out the game, and there was like 4 or 5 of us, and this older brother ended up being the director or the DM or whatever they're called. See, I don't really know anything about these things. But he was like a very stereotypical DM. He was like, you could pretty much, he was the comic book guy from The Simpsons. You know, he was overweight. He had a very crummy goatee, and he was pretty much the comic book guy. So that's my limited experience with tabletop RPGs. But it was some weird game. I don't even remember half of it, to be honest. All I remember is that my friend, one of his items was additional skin he could graft onto us if some of us got burned or something, and I just found that to be very weird. I don't know if I could get into those games, to be honest. I know I hear a lot of other LPers or people on Twitter and things like that talking about them. I know, you know, all the Will Wheaton and people like that are all into tabletop games with their dice, and even Dodger, I know, mentions it a lot in her videos. She does that, but there's a lot of, I don't know if I could be comfortable. It's just kind of weird because it is a role-playing game. You gotta kind of have to get into character, and I'm not really that much into that sort of stuff, I guess. I'm not a good actor or something like that. I would just be like, this is weird. I'd be like cracking up or something like that. I don't know. It's just something I never got into. So yeah, -5 nerd points there for not being into tabletop games. But so yeah, I don't know. Maybe, and now I don't have any friends. No, I don't have enough people around me who would be interested in that, and I know you need like a group of people. It can't just be like you and one other person, I don't think. So yeah, I'm not around people who are into that, so it's just nothing I ever got into growing up or currently either. So sorry, I'm not into that, and I don't know much about it. Like I said, I don't even know who the different roles are called. So so yeah, thank you for that question. Somebody else asked if I was going to buy the newest Tomb Raider when it comes out. I think it's supposed to be coming out fall of 2012, this year, 2012. So yeah, Tomb Raider is one of those games franchises where I always buy the games on release. Like I said, it was the first game I played on my PlayStation when I got it, so it's kind of been hooked into me. Yes, I even bought Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness when it came out, even though that was the worst game. It was like horrible, an absolute sham. Yeah, I even bought that right away. But it looks like these recent developers have got kind of a good knack going, and this new one is a whole reboot, a prequel, even though it really doesn't. It's sort of the original storyline from the first game. I remember it wasn't in the game, but you had to like read the booklet that came with it. It kind of gave Lara a backstory where she was in some sort of plane crash, and her parents died, or her mother died, or something, and she had to like live in the Himalayas on her own, and that's how she learned her skills, and blah, 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 blah. And then they ended up modifying that in the Angel of Darkness and some of the other games where, oh, when she was a little kid, her dad was actually an archaeologist, kind of going along with the movie theme. But then she went off with this other archaeologist as like a sort of summer school, and that's where she learned all this stuff. And then he turned out to be evil or something. I don't know. But and so now I guess they're rebooting it again, where oh, she's a teenager or a young adult, and she's out at sea seeking adventure, and then the ship wrecks onto like some sort of Bermuda Triangle kind of situation, and then she has to learn how to survive, and a survivor is born. So yeah, I am going to be getting that when it comes out for the PC. I don't own any of the next-gen, top-of-the-line consoles, so I'm going to do it for the PC. I'm hopefully going to be able to do a Let's Play for it, depending on what kind of permissions I can get from the developers and things like that, which I'm still waiting on permission from. I know I mentioned I wanted to do another game, but I'm still waiting on permission from this other the company of the game I want to play. No spoilers on what it is yet, but maybe I should contact them again. I don't know. I contacted them before, just after Christmas, and they said, I got a reply saying they were out that week, and when they returned they would forward the email to somebody who could handle my request or my question about doing Let's Plays, and I haven't heard anything since, so maybe I should contact them again. I don't know, I don't want to be annoying, but at the same time I'd like to get to playing this game on my channel here. But anyway, it's the end of the second day of episode 108 of Far Lands or Bust. To recap, we almost died at the beginning, which would have been interesting, since, as most of you know, I have not ever died in Far Lands or Bust yet. So that would have been an interesting way to start. Get all this stuff out of my inventory. Let me make a couple more beds here. And I can, once again, recommend everybody head over to farlandsorbust.com. Oh, I don't have any room for these beds. There we go. You can head on over to farlandsorbust.com to keep contributing to our Child's Play charity fundraiser. Like I said, we're at 5%. We went up a percent today, and at 10%, I will give the real-life tour of the Far Lands or Bust offices here. You get a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at where these are produced and where I record, and my crappy audio setup that will hopefully be resolved soon. Alright, I'm gonna just keep picking this stuff up, aren't I? Maybe I should... No, my inventory is pretty full. But yeah, anyway, thank you, and once again, thank you to everybody who keeps contributing there. I appreciate it. It's going to a great cause. But yeah, certainly, once again, thanks for watching. Please like if you like this video, comment, ask me your questions, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, my name is Kurt. I will see you next time.